Hey there, Monica Reyes here. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about being insecure in relationships. Why am I so insecure in this relationship? And so I'm going to tell you why this is probably coming up for you, what may be coming up for you, and 3 things that you can do to use to move past it. 3 very powerful things that you can do, techniques and tools. So make sure to make it till the end because that's where I'm going to tell you exactly how to break through this. So insecurity is the lack of confidence or anxiety or uncertainty about oneself. This is a relationship to yourself. So although that this is coming up for you in relationship, all this relationship is doing is magnifying how you feel about yourself. And that is the power of relationships because we are energetic mirrors of each other. That is exactly what happens. The other, even if what you're experiencing is coming outward, so whatever it may be, this person is showing up in a certain way, it's really just showing you how you feel about yourself. And so that is going to be the work. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. And just knowing that relationships are amazing tools for growth. So embrace the journey. Thank you, universe, for allowing this to come up because this was already living inside of you. It was an unconscious experience of programming, conditioning that you already had, and the relationship's just making it bubble up. And so embrace it. You'll be able to break through it. Just coming in with that thank you, not like, oh, this is happening to me. No, this is happening for you. This is happening for you. Okay, so this is happening for me. All right, so why is this here? So the insecurity is likely here. So I like to look back in time. What happened in my childhood? Was there a major life event that happened? Where did my life all of a sudden get shooken up? And that's the idea, right? Insecurity, the word security tells me that there's something about your life that caused an insecurity in your relationship to life. It's a first chakra situation. So it's about your experience of the world. So some examples some events that might have happened, you might have experienced abandonment, where your father or mother left, something happened like that. There was a divorce, there was a death. And usually in that experience, especially if it happened as a child, if a parent leaves, even if you've come to terms with it as an adult, the wounded child within you still feels like it was their fault, or still feels like it was a part of, I wasn't good enough, so my parent left. And now this relationship is triggering that wounded child inside, and now this wounded child is like, is this person going to leave me like my mother or my father, or whoever it was that did, I'm afraid of the loss. And so you may be feeling insecure, and watch out for self-sabotage here because you might actually be self-sabotaging. You might, try to mess up the relationship. I don't want to be left, so I'm going to leave. I'm going to self-sabotage it. I don't feel like I deserve this relationship. And this is where, or maybe you start to cling and you start to get needy, or maybe you need reassurance, and so just watching out for these sort of symptoms. And really all this is insecurity. It's you worrying, about the abandonment or the pain or the loss that you felt when you were a child. And so being really gentle with yourself here. Another sort of reason why this might happen, insecurity in a relationship, might also be where maybe you don't feel good enough. Maybe there's a self-perception of I'm not as good looking as this person, or I'm not as good as this person, right? Again, it's your relationship to yourself. And so the work here is going to be to really change your perception to yourself. And I'll get into the sort of things that we're going to do in just a bit. Another reason why this might happen is maybe you had a judgmental parent. So, maybe you had a critical parent, and so now you've got this critical part. Usually there's insecurity, and when you're suffering or struggling from insecurity, there's usually what I like to call a critic or a judge inside of your head, and you've got that negative self-talk, and you don't, sometimes you're really mean to yourself. And so I'll tell you what to do with that part of you in a minute, but it's here for a reason. It's serving you, and so just watch out for that also, because that's going to keep you small. The critic is helping you because it wants to keep you small. It wants to keep you from messing up. It wants to keep you from feeling the pain, and so it's going to do everything in its power, just like the self-saboteur, the saboteur also, everything in its power from you to experiencing pain. And that's what's like, why am I showing up this way? Why am I so needy? I'm so confident everywhere else, and now all of a sudden I don't even recognize myself because it's not you, it's a part of you. There's a wounded child inside of you, and we create these adaptive identities, the critic, the self-saboteur, the needy, right? There are all these parts of us, these fragments that show up in response as a defense mechanism to help you from not feeling the pain, from not feeling the loss that you might have felt in the past. And if you didn't experience anything in your childhood, it could have been a bigger life event, like it could have been bankruptcy, or it could have been something in your adult life that was so like rocked your world, where it's like, I can't even trust myself anymore. This was such a big mistake. This was such a big failure that I no longer can trust myself. I've lost the integrity and the confidence of who I believe I am and what I think is possible for myself. So, also just thinking about and analyzing it. And I like to go to the root cause, because, you can put a Band-Aid over this all you want. And, like Marianne Williamson said, you can put whipped cream over garbage, but underneath is just garbage, right? And that's in essence what this is. You've got to deal with the root cause. You're going to have to go back in time to whatever that event was and resolve your feelings about it. And I'm going to tell you a really, really great, easy exercise that you can do in order to help you through that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, those are just the main big events of why this might be showing up for you. And this is going to, and so watching out when this shows up and thanking it, because again, it's all happening for you. It's in your favor. The timing of it is perfect. There's likely, maybe you're getting prepared for the real love of your life. Maybe this relationship is helping you in order to prepare for something you've got going on. I mean, it's all perfect timing. So just, accept the challenge. All right, we're gonna work through this. We're going to do this. Thank you, universe. And so in essence, what we're doing is we are trying to be more present, because what you're doing is you're bringing the past into the present. So now, as you're identifying, why this is here, if some of these resonate with you, go ahead and, I would love to see the comment. If any of these resonate with you, let me know which one does. And so what I like to do now is thinking about, okay, so what am I really afraid of here? Am I afraid of being cheated on? Am I afraid? These questions can help you sort of isolate why this is happening. Am I afraid that this person's going to leave me? Am I feeling like I'm not good enough? Am I feeling like I'm not worthy? Do I deserve this relationship? Like, really being honest with yourself. Does this remind me? There's a familiarity here? Does this remind me of something? Does this relationship remind me of something? Does that person have markers or reminds me of someone I know? Really, again, the universe is going to give you the perfect person, the perfect recipe, the exact situation for this to show up so that you can deal with it. It was unconscious and now it's coming into the conscious. So just, embracing it and thanking it all along the way. Other questions you can ask are, how can I trust myself more? How can I begin to provide myself with more security? How can I begin to see myself differently? And in essence, what we're doing is you want to begin to explore this part of you. Why are you here? What is this an alarm system for? What are you bringing my attention to? And asking, what can I provide this part of myself to allow myself to feel more secure? And usually it's one of four things. It's going to either be love. So it might be like self-love, or some sort of, and this is actually tip number one, finding out what this part of you needs. So it might be love, it might be security, it might be safety, and it might be connection. So how can I provide myself with more love? So maybe it's giving yourself attention, like maybe it's checking in with this wounded little part of you and seeing yourself, I remember when I was going through this sort of insecurity phase when I was younger, and it's popped up since, a few times here and there. There's the critic shows up, and so really, seeing yourself even as insecure, seeing yourself and loving yourself even as that, right? And so because that's going to be really important in order for you to break through. So asking one of those questions, so number one is going to be identify, and how can I provide myself with whatever that is? If it's security, so maybe it's I need to know that no matter what, because the thing is, you're never going to get the thing that you seek out in the world. You're never going to get it from outside of you. The idea is to provide it to you. So how can I provide myself with more security? Maybe I need to provide myself with a plan. Maybe I need to check in with myself on a daily basis. Maybe I need to meditate. Maybe I need to, hug myself and tell myself that everything is safe and I've got this, and that this person isn't going to leave. And even if they do, I'm still going to be okay. What can I tell this little part of me? What does this little girl or little boy inside of me really need? Number two is going to be what I call a timeline healing. And so what you're going to want to do, an invitation to go back in time and start to look at the events of your life coming in not as who you are in this moment, but coming in as I am spirit having a human experience. So going back in time and looking at the main events of your life. So maybe it was, why did I choose my parents? Why would life have organized this for me? Why, as spirit having a human experience, might I have chosen those exact people, mother and father, and that particular childhood situation? What did I gain from it? What was the wisdom? And then all those experiences. I had that bully. Why did I create that? Why did life organize that exact situation for me? What did I gain from it, right? And going back in time and re-experiencing the failures and mistakes, things that happened to you, those big events that might be causing this insecurity, going back in time and looking at it as a loving observer, as if, from that larger context of life organized this for me. Why? Right? And when we can go back in time, we change our relationship to the events. We become more neutral so that we don't actually carry them into the present. Okay. And so this is actually a really powerful thing. So I would invite you to do that for the things that the negative things. And then you can also go back and do that for the positive things. So if you're showing up and experiencing something like, I'm not worthy, I don't feel confident because I don't feel like I'm good enough for this person or good enough for this relationship, I'm gonna mess it up anyway. Go back in time also and take a look at the good things. So going back through the triumphs, the things that where you showed up and like re-see yourself and take a moment and celebrate for a minute, because oftentimes in this society, we don't celebrate, we just, on to the next one. So really going back in time and taking a look and saying, okay, we're, looking at the triumphs and really feeling the triumph, really feeling the celebration, feeling how like, I did that. Wow, that was me. I'm awesome, and really feeling the truth of that, right? And you'll see that, this experience will repopulate into your present experience. And then of course, my number 3 is going to be present, meditate. So meditation is going to be really, really helpful here, because meditation activates a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex, which allows you to be aware. And awareness is going to be your best friend here, because awareness is going to allow you to stop in the moment of your insecurity. So your relationship is here and is showing up and you're feeling this insecurity and you're about to get into whatever state that is, whether it's needy, whether it's self-sabotage. The awareness will stop you right in the moment. And instead of reaction, you can say, do I want to do this? Is this serving me right now? And then you'll get a choice. You'll have a choice. And so meditation will actually provide you with choice, with consciousness, with awareness. So you're no longer tapped into the unconscious. You're no longer in automatic mode, autopilot mode. You want to be conscious. Another thing you can do, I'm going to throw in a bonus, is to be super intentional. So if you know that this relationship is really causing you to be insecure here, then I would invite you to be super intentional. So like maybe you're gonna meditate before you talk to this person, or you go on a date or dinner or whatever's happening here, or maybe it's a business partnership, or maybe it's somebody you're talking to. Be intentional. Like talk to that little inner girl, little boy, right? Going through the exercise, asking those questions, talking to that part of you even before you go. I know I'm about to talk to this person. I'm going to just check in with this inner part of me that's not very confident, and remind them, coming from the place of I, right? Because there's the little parts of you, and then there's the I. The queen, the king, the center, right? The boundless consciousness, right? The part of you that is all of it and none of it. The part of you that is the universe, coming in from higher self, and check in and tell that part of you, we've got this. We are so secure. We're going to be fine, right? So at least you can be calm going in. Maybe even be present if you're experiencing it in the moment with this part of you, like you're experiencing when you're in the relationship and you're at dinner, let's just say, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so insecure, right? Use your senses, remind yourself of where you are, be present, because the little part of you, what happens is they hijack you, they take over your whole experience, your thinking, your feeling, your sensing, all of you, your whole experience of life. These little parts of us hijack us, so then you no longer know. You're like, you lose your gripping on who you are. So you got to ground yourself in the present. So sight, touch, sound, smell, just really grounding yourself in the present moment, allowing yourself to remember who you are, because you are magnificent. You are awesome, and you don't need any external validation to tell you that. Really, it's all going to come in from the inside. All right, well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully just let me know if you like this, like the video, comment below, let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you need if you have any questions beyond this. I'm here for you. All right, see you next time.